Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about the movies, obviously, TV shows, merchandising, theme parks, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then yes, of course, I'll be talking about it. So, okay, yeah, like I said, I was going to do a follow up, so here we are, I reckon. And okay, so I'll be referring to the one film, A Wrinkle in Time, which, like I said in my previous video, is that I didn't think it was a particularly good movie by any means. Okay, maybe not the worst, but it was not that great either, really. But anyway, just want to, I guess, in some respect, trying to defend that film, on a, not unintentionally, I guess, or intentionally in this case. But I mean, I guess it's still gonna be like a three-way fight because I would still criticize the film, of course, because it's really faulty, I suppose, in its execution, I suppose. So I guess you can still consider this as a three-way fight, I guess, because for one, like in my previous video, this one woman is looking way too much into something that's not there. Well, yes, the film has really bad dialogue. The script is weak, sure. And some of the acting is kind of okay. I mean, but it needs some work here and there. But well, this one woman and I, we would agree the movie isn't good because for one, it isn't. But for two, it's for completely different reasons though. So in one of these situations again, where she's claiming that the film is anti-God, is anti-Bible, like the biblical teachers were erased from the film because apparently the Walt Disney Studios has some kind of, I guess, anti Jesus Christ propaganda, like some kind of thing going on here. But okay, that's not in the movie. Ugh. But anyway, because there's some kind of thing going on, and something about abortion and stuff like that, and I don't know what that got has to do with anything, but okay. And then allegedly, according to this one woman, people who criticize Christians and or whoever else, I guess, are trying to rewrite history. Just because someone has the ever so slightest disagreement does not mean you're being persecuted here. What you're not the victim. There are people who are actual victims in the world for various reasons, of course. You're just going to overlook them and focus on you instead. How insensitive do you have to be? Anyway, I'm gonna just probably spread this in three parts because I don't want to do like a multiple part thing here, really, because I honestly don't feel like it. Anyway, let's just get this over. That's why these types of videos tend to be kind of long. But anyway, let's just head into it, I guess. Come on.
Since 1973, the annual number of abortions has gone from approximately 750,000 a year to just under 1.3 million. Abortion isn't rare or safe, only legal. Legalized abortion on demand has taken the lives of more than 50 million unborn children and left those women who have had abortions more vulnerable to physical, mental, and emotional complications.
Is a fetus a human being? That seems to be the central question. Well, if a fetus is a human being, how come the census doesn't count them? If a fetus is a human being, how come it is a miscarriage, they don't have a funeral? If a fetus is a human we'll say we have two children and three children. See, the really hardcore people will tell you life begins at fertilization. Fertilization when the egg.
We at National Right to Life are working to break this cycle. We are working for the day when both mother and child.
Okay, you're lying already. Again. Okay, of course, when this kind of procedure is going to be done, it would have to obviously be safe, clean and all that jazz, of course. But where are you getting any of this information from anyway? Oh yeah, that's right. You're putting it out your ass. That's what it is. Because you have no clue how this actually works versus what you think it works. These are two different things. And of course, you're just coming out with really manipulative. Like I said in my previous video, you just view women, even though you're a woman yourself, as nothing more than baby factories. You don't want these babies to die, even though technically there would be nothing but just material before it. They're being formed as babies. You just want them to be more than not just people to be in your church, and that's it. You view them as numbers, not really people when you think about it. So there's that.
Welcomed, loved, and protected. Won't you help us? This has been a perspective on life from National Right to Life. For more information, visit our website, nrlc.org.
Well, this month for our book club, we are reading The Case for Christ. It's the month of Easter, and so this is an amazing book written by an atheist and New York Times bestselling author, Lee Strobel, who, as an investigative reporter, was trying to disprove.
Well, last time I checked, this is capitalism. If an atheist wants to make his or her own book, they have the very right to do so. So I think it's kind of weird that you would get in that, I guess, infiltrate that right of theirs. Yet at the same time, you get complacent if people do that very thing to you.
Case for Christ certainly is an appropriate book for us to read this month, both for those who are Christians and for those that are wanting to know what is the truth. A great read, a fast read, and you can get it in any book recommendation also, but we're recommending the film, The Case for Christ.
No, I'm not going to take a recommendation. I mean, granted, I rarely talk about religious movies anyway. And yeah, it's just more on a intentional choice, really. So that's not ever accidental. I've done that intentionally to avoid talking about religious movies. That's more of a personal thing, if anything, really. But from you, it doesn't come off genuine. It's just very controlling. I'm going to be honest here, folks. Anyway.
And if you'd like more information on this, just go to changingworldviews.com and look for our book club information. And if you haven't signed up for our email newsletter yet, I encourage you to do that, because not only will you know ahead of time what our shows are going to be, but also we've got all kinds of links to news stories that are relevant to the topics that we talk about every week. changingworldviews.com. There is a movie just released, I Can Only Imagine, and Dennis Quaid starred in the movie. Kathy Lee Gifford on the Today Show and her co-host interviewed him as regards to the movie.
With nearly 100 acting credits under his belt and that famous easy grin, he's one of Hollywood's longtime leading men.
Dennis Quaid. Now Dennis is starring in a new film inspired by a true story. It's called I Can Only Imagine. He plays an abusive father who later turns to faith and makes peace with his son before it's too late. Dennis, it's great to see you. Movie.
We love the song. I said you weren't familiar with it.
I did not know the song when they offered me the part.
Yeah.
And got the CD and the script, and I put the CD aside because I'm doing the script.
Right.
And it's Bart Millard's story. It hit me so profoundly.
Why did it?
Living in a place where I don't have words, that I just felt that I wanted to be a part of this.
Well, it's so cool because it's basically the story of an abusive father who ultimately does come to faith. And then the son and the father get a relationship that is so meaningful, and then I won't give any more away, right?
It's
a known story, it's a true story. And Bart, he wrote the song, I Can Only Imagine, which was a huge hit in the Christian and the faith world, and yeah, the biggest ever in the faith world. It's an amazing song. Just kind of happened. Took about 10 minutes, I guess. Bart, you didn't write the song in 10 minutes. Took a lifetime. How'd you do this? You know, I've never told anybody my story. When I was 11 years old, life was tough. Where's Mama? She's gone. She don't want me no more. And she don't want me neither. And I
love music. And I found some songs that I held on to. They gave me hope.
Mercy me, that can't be his real voice.
Because I needed it.
Dad, I can do this.
No, you can't. And you're going to blink your eyes and you're going to realize that life has gotten you nowhere because you chased some stupid dream.
I can I'm leaving, Shan.
I want you to know that I pray for you all the time. And I hope that you find whatever it is that you're looking for out there.
What are you running from?
My dad.
Last year at the 2017 National Prayer Breakfast, both President Trump and Vice President Pence were there, and Bart was invited to sing that song at that gathering. Something that may surprise some folks is Dennis Quaid, who played the abusive father in the movie I Can Only Imagine, wrote a song and talked about it, recorded it as a result of being in the movie. I think you'll find this very interesting.
I wrote it for my mother. It's a connection to my faith roots in the sense that I grew up in the Baptist church, went to Sunday school, and then I got baptized when I was 9 and made the decision same day as my brother and I.
I don't know what to say. I don't know how to do it. If God can forgive everybody else, why can't he forgive me?
I never played it in public, and I never finished it because it didn't have a bridge. And then along comes this movie inspired by a song called I Can Only Imagine. And was talking about. So we recorded it recently and sent it to my mom. Said, hey, here, give it to her for her birthday, her 91st birthday.
Of course, what she's trying to do here is just trying to make it as if that this movie is propaganda against Christians, and she's trying to use different type of movies, all kinds of music, to provide a point of view from her perspective. Again, I still don't know how this movie is anti-Christian. Still don't know how this movie is trying to rewrite history when it comes to Christianity, and I still don't know what any of this has to do with anything. I mean, I kind of get a grasp in the sense that she's acting as if that people are out together, and especially the Disney Corporation, because that movie I just showed a moment ago, A Wrinkle in Time, is somehow the evidence. And all she's trying to do here is that, like, how a Christian life is so wholesome, is so sweet, is so caring, how Christian can live in a crazy environment that's out to get Jesus, and Jesus needs to be defended. I don't understand how that makes any sense because isn't Jesus himself really powerful? Isn't Jesus really strong? So you think that Jesus would have been fine. He doesn't need to defend. He doesn't need his, I guess, his followers to defend him because he's already powerful as it is, isn't he? I mean, okay, I get it. It's more defending his principles. Maybe him himself, not specifically. Maybe to some extent, it's just his principles that they're trying to defend. Even though Jesus himself is perfectly fine defending himself physically, I guess. I reckon. But the Disney Corporation isn't antichrist. But this is something I've spoken about a multitude of different times. Is that these types of Christians, I'm not speaking for every Christian, of course, just a good number of them who think like this, obviously. They believe that literally every song, every poem, every story, every book, every movie, every TV show, everything, literally everything has to be in correlations with Christianity. At least there are specific teachings of the political, of the I guess political slash religious teachings. I guess religion and politics should never mix together, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I really don't want to get into that too much, really, because this video is really lengthy as it is. But anyway, of course, thank you for tuning in. And yes, I would do a third part to this. I'm not, like I was saying earlier, folks, I didn't want to do multitude of different parts, maybe just a few parts, and that's it, really. So just like it just feels like there's a whole lot to get into just to ultimately discover nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing about a lot of stuff. Or say the other round, a whole lot of nothing about a whole lot of stuff about nothing. It just feels like there's a whole lot of garbage you have to get through to ultimately realize it's about nothing. It's literally about nothing. Zip, zilch, nada. And you have to go through a whole lot when ultimately it's about nothing, really. Of course, she's trying to talk about multiple different movies she would recommend. She's trying to show some music. I say, see, the Christian community is so sweet, it's so caring. We're the victim. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. Just screaming, I'm the victim all the time. And that's why she's trying to talk about different movies and type of music and whatnot. All right, that'll be it for now, folks. Like I said, I would do a third part later, I suppose. I just want to get this out the way as soon as possible. I guess when I feel like it, I suppose. Anyway, until next time, I guess. Whatever.